Yes, comfort and luxury at its best. This is Family TV, here to enrich your life. Yes, it is at hand with me, Daphne Karungi. Kangafe, what are we talking about today? There are so many issues out there, and it is the festive season. We know so many people are running up and down, and so many accidents are happening, but we got you covered. Well, today we have an interesting guest. Yes, Miss Sarah Nduhukire. Now, this one is the Traffic and Road Safety Officer at UNRA. I know we all love UNRA, don't we? And we keep asking ourselves, what is UNRA? Someone can't even define what it is, but don't worry. Well, you are going to tell us everything, but before we go there, we want to know who is Miss Sarah Nduhukire. You are welcome, woman of God.
Oh, thank you so much, Daphne.
Yes.
My name is Sarah Nduhukire, like you said, Bisha. Bisha is my husband's name. I'm a traffic and road safety officer at UNRA. UNRA in full is Uganda National Roads Authority. And I'm glad to be here. I would wish to first thank God for the opportunity given by Family TV. Thank you so much for enriching us, for bringing us together. And we can do this better with you. We thank God for we are still living. And we are here to share on how we can, safely drive on roads, on how we can reach our different destinations in time, but more important, when we are safe. So, like you said, UNRA is an entity in this country that is responsible for constructing and maintaining national roads. Now, there is a at times people think, or the population thinks that UNRA is in charge of all road networks.
That is true.
Okay, I wish we could if we were facilitated, but the mandate only permits us to take care of national road network. And maybe to give you a snapshot of that, in total we have about 21,000 kilometers that UNRA is taking care of. This about 21,000 kilometers, it has both tarmac and gravel. So it's about 5,800 kilometers that are already tarmacked, and we are on a steady progress because these kilometers keep increasing, year by year, depending on the financial envelope that is entrusted with us. So we have some roads that are not under our jurisdiction. I'll give you an example, like most of the road networks in this Kampala city, it is someone else's mandate, but all in all, we are one government, and I believe that whatever plans we have, they should be, fitting in one strategic plan to make our goods and our people reach safe and also to reach in time. So maybe that could give you a snapshot on who UNRA is. Yes, thank you.
Well, when someone out there, actually, like you said, many have a misconception that UNRA is responsible for their village roads as well, responsible for every road that they can set their eyes on. I thank you for letting us know that you have a particular area of operation, and I think that is more out of the city, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. I'll give you an example. Say our role is to connect border to border, but in between you meet, you have where we have cities, where we have, say, Kampala, which is our capital city. That one is taken care of KCCA. Then we have other roads that pass through, different towns and different, say, from here to Katuna. I'll tell you that we take care of it from Busega all the way up to Katuna. But in between, when you reach say Masaka, you reach Mbarara, then there's some portion of road network that belongs to that local government. Yes, so we have points where we pick. So I would say from eastern route, we take it from Chambogo, and then we go the other way. Then you skip a few that, in towns, in different districts. And that can give a guidance on where we start from.
So should I stop blaming you for the potholes on Busawala Road?
Busawala. Actually, we have some roads that now we are working on. Yes, Busawala is under UNRA, and it's under construction. So those potholes soon will cease to be a mess. But we apologize. However, let's also get to know that because of the limited resource envelope, that you cannot work on all at the same time. Trust me, we have some roads that we've really worked on, and and they are smooth, and then this plan is, it's not that it's UNRA that decides on what to work on. No, it is a national plan. We have a strategy where they tell you first concentrate on this, the budget we have can only take care of this. But generally, I think, yes, this country will have good road network with the time, because every year there is some kilometers being added on. So that would mean that in near future, we will be good to go. I also appreciate that there is, it's like you buy your cloth, you use it, it gets torn, or you have to replace it. So we also have maintenance. The roads that are already, in existence, some of them have served beyond their, lifespan.
Yes.
But the government is on it. They know which roads are earmarked for, rehabilitation. A few people who have, for example, recently traveled from Mitiana to Movende, that section is under rehabilitation. I'm just giving an example of that because it has served its lifespan. And we have new developments that are coming on board. We have Kamparente Expressway, which recently came on board. And we have a number of them, the expresses that are coming on board. Also, there is Kampala-Busega. For people who use that route, I think you've seen. Eastern route soon it will also be, the traffic will be eased because we are planning. The procurement is already ongoing.
Okay.
They have already acquired land for Jinja Kampala Expressway. The way we drive from Entebbe to Kampala Expressway is the same way we are going to have that, to reduce the traffic on Kampala Jinja, which is, I know it has many potholes, but we think if we get the alternative, which is the expressway, it will solve these issues. So let's be patient a bit. That this country, I think, when it comes to infrastructure, they are on steady progress. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And when we look at the strategic plan, actually, 2030, infrastructure is very, very important because it determines everything. If people waste time in jam and all the issues that come with the accidents, it definitely does affect development of the economy. And you spoke something about the road network.
Yeah.
And you being the traffic and road safety officer, someone who is an expert when it comes to roads, we had so many accidents reported, and many came out to blame it on the road network. They said that roads are narrow and then there's so many potholes. I want you to briefly comment on the situation or the current state of our road network.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Let me go back to my now field traffic and road safety officer, like you said. Yes, they're quite, the number of crashes. Actually, now we've changed it to crashes. We no longer call it accidents. Because accidents, it's an act of God at times. You can't control it. But now what we are seeing, that there are crashes, they can be avoided if we all took care, if everyone knew what to do as a road user.
Yes.
So now, in this, it is a sector, road safety is a broad sector that is not under a one-man's show. I'll give you an example. Okay, in road safety, we have about 4 E's. I'll run through them quickly and I'll tell you who is responsible for what. So we have engineering, which really contributes a lot. Under engineering is purely where UNRA comes in, and this is, with our mother ministry, which is Ministry of Works and Transport, that gives, manuals to follow and everything. Yeah. So that is engineering. Anything, the road designs, the potholes you're talking about, the signs that maybe are not there or they were there and they are no longer there, that is a responsibility of Uganda National Roads Authority. The road markings, anything that they put on infrastructure to guide the road use on how to behave, we call that engineering. But also under engineering, we have vehicles. I think you absolutely agree with me here where your office is. I see you have really amazing when you stand in your windows, I was able to see
we have an amazing view.
Yes. So at times I think you see some vehicles that are on road network. You see that some of them are in DMCs. DMC, I mean dangerous mechanical condition. So under that, the vehicles we are driving, are we maintaining them? Are we servicing them? And that's why we see police tires on the road checking out that. All that is under 1E, which is engineering. The other one is enforcement. enforcement, once laws are enacted are there, then we have enforcing body. And purely this is a mandate of Uganda Police Force. I would like to recommend them for this. They're doing it well. Yeah, they could be having a few issues like any of us, but I believe they are there for a reason, and they are keeping us in check. So that is another E in road safety for enforcement. Then we have emergency response. Now, this emergency response, this road safety takes in account that if, like I told you, some of these crashes are unavoidable, So if a crash has happened, then as the country, how prepared are we to to handle the situation that has happened? An accident, yes, has happened, a crash has happened, and say, how long the turnaround time for ambulances to reach, to casualties and rush them for first aid. That matters a lot, and that is pure a mandate of Ministry of Health. And they are doing great initiatives. I'm sure one day you will meet them and they will tell you. I'm in touch with them.
I'm looking forward.
They are doing it well. They are trying really to regionalize the ambulance services so that if anything happens, then they are able to
respond
take little
quickly.
time and respond. And maybe because in this, not in Uganda alone, but in Africa generally, actually most people die after the crash, because maybe we've taken long to get the first aid that we should have gotten, or also maybe we've taken long to get a right vehicle to take someone. I'm sure you've seen that, not in Uganda, but also it could be there. You've seen that an accident happens, and because maybe there are no better ambulances to take people, Good Samaritan is police inclusive. I see it taking lead in this. They have no option but to put you on a pickup. And imagine they are driving for 10 kilometers from where the accident happened to the health center where you should get the first aid. In that, it's when you look at the environment, it worsens the situation. But this government is not seated. The Ministry of Health is on top of the game. We've seen this. They keep improving, and we think we'll get there. The third E is. I think the fourth E now. The fourth E is education. Education is so important. I think we could be in the same age bracket. For us, I think when I was in P1 in a remote school, we used to have, road signs planted in the school compound. And then you would see, don't speed, don't litter. And those initiatives, to me, they were making sense. But as time went on, we see them, they are no longer there. The curriculum, for example, I have babies. Now, when I try to engage with them, they don't know about road safety at all. So we think also that the responsibility, the responsibility center of this E is also not seated. They are trying to come back and maybe come back in a better way. But I don't want to take it to one person or one entity that is
There's so many stakeholders.
I'm also thinking, me and you, we have a role to play as parents. Me and you as adults, we have a better role to play on our people, on our followers who are young. If, for example, you're a parent and you're in the car and you're the one driving your babies home or to school, and they see you, using your phone when you're driving them to school. What impact, what message are you telling them?
They are picking and learning.
Telling them that, yes, it is normal to be driving and you're on phone. And we know what that does. It disrupts your driving behavior or your driving judge, drops. If you're a driver and you're the person who goes on, littering, throwing kasasiro, throwing rubbish, you've eaten chapati, the kasasiro you throw, the bottles
out of the window.
And these kids are watching. And kids, to change their mindset from what they have seen is very hard. So it is a responsibility of each and every one of us. We have to take lead in this. We have to know what to do when we are with our kids. And that's how we think the behavior, will change. But if we keep to what we are doing, then I don't think we are helping our generation. Accidents are going to kill us. And then, like I said, UNRA, we have so many kilometers that are tarmacked and those that are tarmacked. There is also a trend that we've seen that once roads are done, accidents increase.
That is
And you
true.
wonder,
Very, very true.
You know, everyone is complaining, you know, our roads are bad, like the Busabala road you've talked about. We
too
really
bad.
apologize
Really
for
bad.
the delays on that road, with all due respect. But trust me, that once it is done, the number of carnages you're going to see on that road will, at times you sit and say, was it worth? Because you're constructing a road and it's killing citizens, the road
Yes.
users. So you're like, was it worth? But I think all this comes out because people, maybe they are not used to these developments, but some people even know these developments adamantly, they refuse to adhere to them.
That is very true.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I think we have learned and we have known that we're all stakeholders when
Yes,
it comes to road safety. Play your part as a parent, play your part as somebody who is driving the car. Make sure it is in a good condition. And yes, you have spoken about the roads that UNRA has worked on successfully. Well, and someone is saying, are you sure? Which one? And then they're asking, which ones are you working on, and which ones do you plan to work on? Maybe briefly, if you can touch on that before we go back.
Okay. Thank you, moderator. Yes, I'll just give a snapshot on a few roads. And like I said, again, let's not ask, why are you constructing that one? It is a national interest. As UNRA, we don't sit in our offices and say we are going to work on, say, Busabala Road. No, it is in the interest of the nation. So a few roads that we've completed in the last 1 year, if we look at, for example, those who have been privileged to go to Albertine region, this is oil region.
Yes.
And we know why we are concentrating on
Is
that
it because
region.
of the oil?
Yes, it's economy, and all machines were diverted to there. I can surely tell you that almost all road network in oil region are connected. They are tarmacked. Most of them, about 5 projects and heavy projects have been completed in that region. But also I can come up the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway.
Yes.
This is a unique road that has come up for the first time. And then the ones that are coming up, I told you about, a few who have also gotten a chance of moving to Kampala Mpigi. There's an express coming up soon. The works are in high gears. A few that maybe are being rehabilitated, because you know, road network, you have to keep taking care of it. And this is maybe at times, this is my thinking, that at times we concentrate on development and forget the maintenance. Trust me, even ourselves, me and
if you don't maintain
ladies,
yourself,
we have to keep, looking good. You have to keep maintaining yourself.
That is
so.
true.
My appeal to the government, where I also belong, but which I know it's doing well, is that they should also look at maintaining these roads, because it makes no sense giving money or getting donors to come and build roads, and then there's no maintenance. By default, the road is subjected to tear and wear. You cannot avoid that. So if it develops, a pothole here, and then there's no funds to attend to that pothole, and you leave it, for 2 days because of the traffic, volume, it keeps expanding. And that's where you keep thinking maybe the road that was done was short, which is not true, because even you, if you don't take care of yourself, trust me, you're gone. So that can give us a snapshot. We have oil roads that we have worked on, and they are on running. They have been commissioned. We have roads that are under rehabilitation. I've told you about Mitiana Mubende. We have also roads. People might forget that maybe Kampala Jinja, because I know it's chaotic road and it has a few potholes. But like I told you, because of we have a contractor there who is fixing those, major spots that we have. But the government has a bigger suggestion, a solution of the Jinja Kampala Expressway, which we think if it is completed, it will relieve this one.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will relieve traffic on this. It will lessen traffic on the old road, and we will. So let's be patient a bit. Yes.
Well, I think I can say kudos to you right there, and thank you so much for enlightening us in that line. And you spoke of something that is very, very important. As people, we are supposed to maintain ourselves. That is why we have Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Go and maintain yourself. Well, Sarah, you should go to that place. They have a very, very good spa. Yes, you said you're a woman, you need a spa, and then also you get to swim in a well-maintained swimming pool. And then if you have an event, an indoor, outdoor, they got you covered. And when you talk about their prices, very affordable. That is a Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe, and that is the place to be, the place to go and relax and think about UNRA. Anyways,
Yeah. Thank you.
when I come back to UNRA and thinking about you and the work that you are doing, so many people have come out to allege that some roads have a slippery tarmac,
Yes.
especially when it rains.
Yes.
And they're saying that is the reason as why we have an increase in carnages on the roads. And some actually cited the Masaka Highway. I don't know if you can comment on that.
Yes, I can, because I've been in the system for some time. So
Yes.
even when that allegation was made, yes, I was there.
Okay.
And this should be about 4 to 5 years ago when that allegation was made. Now, I would want to say that by default, when it rains, the environment changes, you know. But the problem is us, the road users, that we don't change our mindset.
With the environment.
Yes, we don't change with the environment. We have no full control over environment.
Yes.
I think everyone knows this. So you'll find we warn you that when it rains, please slow down.
Yes.
Because, you know, the tires, the grip is no longer that, you know, hard on the surface of the tarmac surface. So people think they can still behave as if it was in a dry environment. Now,
Yes.
for Kamparentebe Massacre, the one in question, it was interesting because I participated in it. So there were quite a number of carnages that were happening on that road. Even now they are there, but not to that extent. Now, what happened? When there was a public outcry, we said we can't just sit and watch, you know.
Yeah.
That road was still new. They had just expanded on it. It was nice from the look of when you just look at it.
Yes.
But it turned out to be a death trap of so many. May the soul of the people who, you know, died
Rest in
out of
peace.
yes, rest in peace. But what we did with we came up with a strategic cooperation from all stakeholders: Uganda Police Force, UNRA, Ministry of Works, and some private, you know, business people.
Yeah.
I said, let's launch something. We called it Fika Salama. For those who remember,
I remember
that word.
Yes.
Now, this Fika Salama came in operation. It wasn't a one-man show. It was a combined effort, a strategy that we thought could come down. And we said, well, what can be done? We said we shall not tolerate any nonsense on that road. If you come, the speed limit was telling you be at 80 kilometers per hour, because engineers know that when you're at that, you can safely brake, you can drive safely. So when you come and you're at 100 kilometers, then police would stop you. And it was a no-nonsense, and they would issue heavy tickets, and then if you're overtaking at a wrong point, you know, at a wrong, you know, road marking, still they will carry you on. And then it increased the budget for the government, because all the enforcement had to shift there, you know, and it's not cheap to maintain that operation. It wasn't cheap. But to cut the long story short, the behavior drastically improved of the road users, of the drivers. Now, Daphne, we are going into this festival season.
Yeah.
That road, I also use it. But trust me, from 20 years, the madness on that road, I don't know, the people who use that road, we need to check ourselves. People are showing off, you know, someone comes there, we call that, you know, road range. You want to show that your machine is perfect than mine.
And it has many rich people.
I beg that you plan your journeys well. Please stop chasing time.
I don't know if you can rush us through that.
That's very important.
Yes.
Very important. The other cause of many accidents along that road is the missing. They don't know which lane to use.
Yeah, they
because
have
on the Kamparentebe Express, like we said, it's unique. It has two lanes taking traffic. I'm assuming you're from Busega facing Entebbe. It has two. It gives you two big lanes to move all of you.
Yes.
Then also coming back from Kampala to Busega, same story. Now, this is how you should drive. If you're from Busega, you've paid your money, you've paid your entrance fees at the toll plazas, we kindly request that you keep left. In Uganda, we keep left. this rule hasn't changed. It applies to all the express highways that are also coming. Please keep left. Now, leave the inner lane. The inner lane is now the one on the right. For people who are really who are chasing time, because we shall always get those people.
Yes.
But also for people who are impatient, who think that you're driving at a small speed or at a
you're delaying them.
average speed. For if you think your car you can comfortably drive at 80 kilometers per hour, keep left. This person who thinks he has a better car, anyway, there are better cars also in this country, we acknowledge that. And for him, he thinks he can, drive at 100 maximum, which I discourage people to go. But he thinks he can safely, drive 90 kilometers, that's, 10 kilometers in between above you. Then he is right to use the inner lane to overtake. But also, when they are going to overtake, we request that you do the right things. Please indicate. Because behind you, you don't know people who are following you. There are more cars coming. So indicate. Throw that indicator, the right indicator, that anytime I'm going. And use your senses and judge. Look at the speed, at the space between the two of you. Will you safely overtake? And then the rule applies that after you've overtaken this car, which is on its lane, on the left, you should safely go back, leave this other lane, because you don't know also there could be more powerful vehicles coming from behind. But the problem with it is people have insisted driving in the inner lane, the right lane, which is wrong. And then they are driving at a small, at a very low speed, that people on the right get discouraged, you're not giving them any room. So please keep left until you're overtaking. After overtaking, go back to left. And when you're going to overtake, throw that indicator. Give it time. Give it time. Another thing I would say from that picture is maybe I also avoid what we call tailgating. Coming closer to the car that you're following. Please, it is not safe. It is not safe. Make sure that the space in between is enough for you to help you to maneuver to other lane, and then calculate and go back the other side. Don't stick to the inner lane. If we do that, we would be good. But people don't do that. They provoke these people who are on the right lane, your inner lane, you're driving slow. But also on that express, it's dangerous to be a slow driver. 20 kilometers, 50 kilometers, again, they will knock you from there.
So they shouldn't even be taking it in the first place.
Yes. So we expect, but if you don't trust your car, you think you've not done service, please keep the inner lane, which we say keep left. That's what I can talk about that. The maximum speed on the express is 100 kilometers per hour. I said, we don't encourage you to go for maximum. It's not safe. Yes.
Well, that is very, very good information, especially for people that use highways, how you should know that if you are really going to be slow, know your lane. Please leave the people that don't know how to use their machines, though killing very many people, God forbid. Let them use that side so that at least you can go home safe. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, it is very, very informative. And I believe that you are being enriched when it comes to using the road. I want you to take us through some of them to see how we can keep our people safe.
Right.
Yes.
I absolutely agree with you that we have a big population of road users that really, don't understand the road signs and road markings. Now, if you cannot understand, if you don't understand, for example, the road markings and road signs, it is through those two that a driver communicates with the road. Now, if you don't know them, then it's by God's mercy that we are alive.
That is true.
So, but it's not late. It's you can educate yourself in case you missed that, in case you missed someone teaching you. We kindly request that you interest yourself in knowing these road markings and road signs and what they mean. Okay, I can see the sample you're giving us. That is a newly constructed road, I think. This should be in western Uganda. This should be Kashenyi Mitoma. I happen to move on most of the road networks, so even looking at the picture, I can tell. Now, this sign, the first sign that is projected, this warns you that there is a hump. Now, we have signs. When you see it in that red, that you see, this is a triangle with red. We call this mandatory sign.
Yes.
Mandatory means you must adhere to what it is telling you.
Yes.
And if you don't adhere, then you're more likely not to be safe.
Yes.
Or you're more likely to endanger other road users. So here we warn you, we tell you that exactly there where it is, there is a hazard.
Yeah.
And this hazard is a hump. And people shouldn't again ask, why are you putting hazards? It's part of the interventions that are made to keep you in the check anyway.
Yes.
Because if we don't, then you're more likely to ram into or to cause accidents. Now, there they tell you that point, that's where the hump is. And we have several types of humps. You know, engineers will deem it fit which one fits where.
Okay.
So we have series, you can see we have first two small humps. You know, we call them rumble strips. They are really small, you can maneuver through them quickly. Okay. But these ones are preparing you that you're hitting a bigger one.
A bigger one is
ahead. So our engineers are not seated. They want to warn you that in case you've missed this sign, you've not seen it, then these two small rumble strips, the first set that you meet, it prepares, it should awaken you that please reduce your speed because you're headed for a bigger hump. And if you don't react, then you're going to meet that big hump at the speed you own, more than 50 kilometers recommended there, and it will be, you know, it will not be nice.
Yes.
That's what I can say. It is a hump. We have these rumble strips, the first set small humps, you know, before the big one. It's warning you, it's waking you up that in case you're sleeping, actually wake up. Because if you don't, then you're headed for doom.
Then we
but people don't understand.
There is another at the back right there, the one with the 50.
Oh, the 50 is a maximum speed limit. Now, in our design manuals, we have 50 for build-up sections, for business centers. It's actually, they are saying it should be revised. We are suggesting that it is revised. That 50 kilometers is still high speed for you to maneuver through a trading center or a town. But currently you will meet 50 because it's what was approved in the first manual. Okay. So this 50, that's how you should know that if you went to driving school, they should have told you that when you're approaching a trading center, please reduce your speed to 50 kilometers. And like I said, don't go for the maximum that we tell you. We are not telling you that be at 50. You're safer when you're not at maximum. Be at 20. So that, because people who are there, by the way, these are your own children. You know? These are your own mothers, your own sisters, you know. So let's be conscious. Let's not say I don't come from, for example, this Kashenyi. You don't know where. So let's be conscious of these road signs and let's implement them.
Oh, yes.
The other one in the background is just information. Information is telling you the name of the trading center you're in. Yes. Then I see this one here. This one should be in this one should be actually in Kampala.
Yes.
Yes, and this one, I think it's self-explanatory. It is telling you that ahead there is a roundabout. And also once you're approaching the roundabout, we kindly request you that you reduce your speed.
Yes.
Because by default, why are roundabouts put there? It's one of the interventions actually to reduce speed.
Yes.
We want to inconvenience you that please come down. Then you first sober up, you know. and once you do that, then you're safe yourself, but also the other people are safer. So this one is also a mandatory sign that you must act. You must know there is a roundabout and you should know which lane you want to go. Some people reaching the roundabout, they have not yet made their decisions. Where
am I going?
You don't know where you're headed. So it tells you, please inform your mind. Which roundabout? How are you exiting the roundabout? Which side are you? So most accidents have happened along, the roundabout because people didn't plan their journeys. Because people they don't know which direction they are going. So in road safety, really, the important to note is plan your journey and know where you're going. Otherwise, you're going to be a menace. Amongst many road users. This one in particular is this is something warning you about the climbing lane. Yes, when you see one going up and then this one that has sabotaged it a bit, why do we have climbing lanes? Maybe it's also a new development, but most people don't understand them. Climbing lanes, we consider climbing lanes where there is a slope. So where there is a slope and then we have a mixture of traffic, we have heavily loaded vehicles, you have small cars of me and you. So when you leave them in one one section, in one lane to compete. One, it is not safe. Because the heavy loaded vehicle can easily fail to brake, you know. So we tell you that, yes, when you see that you have a refugee, you can take that. And also we tell these heavy loaded vehicles, the climbing lane, why it's there, it's for the outer lane left is for the slow moving vehicles. By default we have them. If it is heavily loaded, then that means it has to be at a relatively low speed. So we tell you, for you, keep
the left.
And these other people who have light vehicles and they can, you know, overtake you safely, they are the ones who have a right to, you know, take that right and go. But there is a misuse now that actually traffic from opposite, they are the ones coming through that. But we believe every stakeholder who is involved in sensitization is doing their mandate. Actually, to be honest with you, yesterday they launched the National Safety Week. I don't know whether why you invited me. That, but it is very appropriate time to talk about this. We launched the National Road Safety Week, and throughout this week we are going to see a number of people, you know, sensitizing road users, all categories, because we don't discriminate.
When we talk about sensitizing users, people kind of ask themselves, yes, we've seen lots of road carnages, but what has UNRA done? What are the interventions from UNRA to see that we reduce on the carnages?
Okay. I'll not only tag that to sensitization. We are partners among the many stakeholders. If you remember the 4 E's that I mentioned,
I do.
I also told you who is responsible for what. So all those E's, they have a component of sensitization. It's not a one-man's show. So, but what we are doing, we have brought ourselves in one document, you know, and we are saying, let's fight this together. Because if you leave it isolated, then no one will do it. So everyone in their different area of jurisdiction of operation, they are doing sensitizing. Myself, you will meet me more often on the roads that are being constructed. That's where I'm best. Yes, that's where, because I know we are bringing in new features, and these road users in those communities don't understand. So we go there, we have contractors who keep encouraging people, they have road safety officers who keep, you know, sensitizing. Now it is tarmac that reduce on your anxiety, reduce on your, you know, so that the roads that we are giving you are not, you know, death trap. Then we also have other people. Police, we've seen police do this great time, you know, sensitizing masses, sensitizing road users. So the intervention is among those ones. Like I said, we have constructed many, you know, we are adding on kilometers for tarmac section. So we believe if people knew how to use them, then this tarmac network should not be a problem. You know, it should come in as an advantage, not to kill people. But also, let me tag it to the, for example, the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway, the interventions that are being done. We are maintaining that road properly, so that you're not on driving and then you meet this Kasasiro and you meet this Buvera, and you know they can come to your screen, to windscreen, and then you know block your visibility. We are maintaining it to that standard, but we are also ensuring that there is 24/7 patrol vehicle, that in case you get any hiccup with your car, the service will be rendered to you at free of charge. No one should ever charge you any money once you've entered the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway and you've gotten a mechanical condition. All you need to know is to know which line to call. But there will also be monitoring. I think a few who have used it, they keep seeing this patrol, it's written there, GIS or something. That's the contractor who is doing it on behalf of this government.
For free.
For free. They don't charge you, and they should really help you pull out safely to a safe point, and then from there you can now engage your mechanics to come and take your car. The other intervention is that I've been also thinking that this Kampala-Entebbe Expressway is insecure. That's what happens. They say it's dark, you know, they say it is not safe. So I think, yes, the government has listened to this, and as we talk, there is installation of traffic lights all through So that thing of insecurity will die, once we have the road well lit, it will die, and that one has started. We have toll-free line to call for this one. That is also a good intervention. We will give that one later. And quite other, we keep replacing the road markings that are faded. We keep replacing the road signs that are being stolen. I would want to talk about that maybe
some other time.
No, today. I think I will talk about
today,
this today.
because we have about 1 minute to go, and
yeah.
I want us to rush through the do's and don'ts, because I believe that you have them.
The do's and don'ts.
Yes.
I'll start with that one. Thank you. The road furniture.
Yes.
You believe with me, we construct a road, we give it road furniture to direct people. I said it is through road furniture that a road user communicates with the road.
Yes.
We put a speed limit, you've come and cut it. You've come and vandalized it. What are you telling people? Now there will be no more signs to direct people that drive at 100. It will be gone. So we kindly request that please don't steal road furniture. Protect it, because it is there to protect you. Yes. The other one I want to talk about is about drink and driving. It's not my full mandate, but I believe half of the people who get involved in an accident, they always say they have been drinking,
Yes.
And once you drink, your judgment is impaired. So please, if you're going to drive, don't drink and drive. So the other one is dumping, the way we expose our kasasiro. Please, you're rendering these roads not forgiving, because because you're throwing rubbish, you're spoiling, you're destroying you're blocking the water, flow.
The drainages.
And once drainages are blocked, then the impact now goes onto the road. And soon you see potholes coming, and then you start saying maybe government gave us substandard road, which is not true. It's you who has killed that road. So please watch how we dispose our rubbish.
Wow. Thank you so much, Miss Sarah Nduhukire. Well, if you haven't learned, then you'll never learn. You ought to abreast yourself with information so that you can keep safe this festive season. Well, I would like to say thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And please do return, like you promised.
Yes.
Do return. Well, that was it from us here on Issues at Hand with me, Daphne Karungi Kangave, and Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Stay with us.